this is going to the right playlist. Okay, so I'm gonna start this like this. What is for you guys, I mean, in your life as a producers right now? By the way, just so I explain to those of you online and in the future generations who watch this video, this is what's happening. Across the whole month of April, your Leo, I mean, I'm kind of more talking to the online guys because you already know this, but your Leo experience is going to be a bit disrupted during the month of April because of the end of the film. I'm just like really extreme. So in advance, I apologize to all of you for my pistiatsness. Like, I think I have a little bit of credit because we have done a good job, and if I go a little bit off the tracks, I'm going to return. So that's the first thing. So sorry if the kind of quality of my lectures is going to go down a little bit in this month. I mean, not month. It's kind of until the first, so until April 10th is when I'm going to be so far. Like, I understand. Yeah, I appreciate this. Yeah, for sure, because I never make music. It's really unfair. So today, I was like giving everybody the option, I'm telling this to your guys online, to either postpone this lecture or not, because I don't feel prepared for it. But we kind of like here decided that we can do some sort of like test to see how it works when I have a freestyle lecture that I don't have a plan and we discuss some things openly. And if we finish this lecture and believe that this was a waste of our times, I will add another lecture in the end, very happily, to compensate. So I start with a question like, okay, we're talking together about mixing, about reverbs, about the EQs, about compressors. What is the thing that for you is more difficult right now, or that you would need more help, or that you think is more pressing for you, more urgent? Production, like even a production. Hi, like for example, mixing. It's okay. So mixing for sure, and we have the mixing and mastering course, and this course are related to each other. So EQ, and that's what I wanted to work on, kind of like that's what I was thinking we were going to end up like in EQ. So I think that we can see like a couple of cases. We have some audio tracks, and then we can see a couple of cases like not only of EQ but some sort of like meditating about something. We're not going to be exactly mixing. I'm going to download here. There is in your I have this frozen. Sorry, in the multitracks. In the general multitracks, there is one called, let's do this with our Lee. Let's do this with our Lee trio. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. So, yeah, because there's gonna be a lot of acoustic materials and everything. So I'm going to download here. Wait, let me sort this by size. Can I sort it by size? Yeah. By the way, that's a good way to know. You see, like I have a full multitrack here that is a lot of stuff. And how can I know what is a song? Well, I mean, just sorting it out by size. This is a song, 61 megabytes, right? Because the names are different. That's what I mean. So if I take everything that is 61 megabytes, that was recorded in one go. So I'm going to download this, guys, and I'm going to drop them in Ableton. The reason why specifically an acoustic session is going to be more cool for us to discuss some things. So let it run. How long will it take? Will it take long? I don't know. That's kind of like 2 tracks. Let me start, just so we got it a bit faster. I'm just gonna download the overheads alone, and this is gonna be useful. Like, I think that today's lecture's topic is gonna be like, how do we know, like, how do we identify a problem? Like, what is a problem? How does a problem looks like? And let's see if this takes us somewhere useful. So while the other tracks are downloading, I just downloaded the overheads, and let's just drop this here. By the way, that was I was trying to make a sound of an elephant. we're doing that exercise. We're doing that exercise in the first year. So they have to make the sound of an elephant in a synth. Who is here talking to me? EQ. Can you send the YouTube link, please? Sure. Here's the YouTube link. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna just gonna get rid of my elephant here, and let's create a new track, a new live set, and let's just drop, while the tracks are downloading, let's just drop the overheads alone. This is the overhead, right? It's just one mono overhead. Let me just turn this up. Yeah, I really see a lot of potential. Do you hear any problems with that overhead at the moment? Like, is there any? This is gonna be a cool conversation. Like, are there any problems there? Think about it. Like, we're gonna mix this in the future, so remember, these are the overheads. There's a lot of grain. Okay. There's a lot of grain. What else do you feel? There is one very obvious problem. It doesn't. Right now, it cannot be because I'm hearing in mono. But it's a good attempt. It's a good attempt. Like, it's a good try. It's a good logics, but it doesn't have enough punch. Somebody says that, not enough punch. There is a really important problem that nobody has mentioned yet. Enough punch. No ideas yet? Any other ideas? Let me see if this track's already downloaded. I think yes. Yeah. And one of the problems that I have there is that I have a lot of other instruments there. And I'm gonna mix that, right? And I have like, this is the overhead. And I have like, I hear like a lot of saxophone and I hear a lot of bass. It was live. It was live. And that's not a bad thing. But I mean, I'm just trying to train us to identify problems. So one of the problems that you're gonna always be looking for is bleed. Like, is there a bleed? Like, bleed means like the spill from other microphones, from other sources into the microphone that you're like trying to isolate. And so one of the things we're gonna do today is to isolate microphones and to understand how we can isolate stuff using the tools that we know. So I'm gonna load all these tracks there. This is like their merely recording that we did in DTH. And let's be sure that this is not warped. And I'm not gonna do my usual like very great, you know, like careful track session management, because I just want to be fast and I don't want to spend time doing that. So this sounds great. Like, I mean, on its own, it's really nice. But let's use it. Let's use this to train ourselves to understand some problems and to see if we can find some problems. I do need, of course, I do need to move some things a little bit. This is room left, room right. This is the other room, I guess. I just want to have them in order. Saxophone, overheads, overhead left, overhead right. Okay, moth, a kick in, hi-hat, and floor tom. I'm just moving all the drums components to one place. Drums here, rooms. Okay, great. And let me group this in a drum group, and then I'm ready to move on. Wait, sax, no, sax, Geffen, floor tom. Okay, great. So I'm gonna solo drum elements. Well, I can just, yeah, do it like this. It's okay. And let's work on the overheads alone. So these are my overheads alone. Oh, are they? Wait. Yeah, I have this track. Yeah. Why am I hearing something else? Gracias. Grazie mille, bratan.
You can give congratulations to me as well.
What's your birthday?
My birthday.
Huh? Ah, you got your, oh man. Ah, nice. Nice.
The new one.
Nice. Congratulations,
Now it's
man.
the permanent.
My children became Italian recently. That's amazing, bro. Congratulations. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna hear the overheads in isolation, and let's start to think about it. There we go. We got it. Yeah. Okay. Banded left and right, or Elena Barot, right and left. So, what do we hear? We said too much PSOC, right? You were saying. So how many hertz do you think that is? 1K? Somebody says 1K? Uh-huh. Somebody say 1K. I don't think it's Poltarai. Let's have a listen. Wait. I just want to go here and go to EQ8 and put it here. Am I right? Yeah. Okay. So we wait here. Gospel, yeah. I'm so stupid today. I don't understand what's going on. Wait. At all. Snare top, snare bottom. There it is. Now, you see what I was telling you, when you mix, it's better. It's important to start with silence. Okay. So we say 1 kilohertz. I think that that PSOC is a little bit different frequency. I think it's even more. It's like 10K. Look. You see? This PSOC. And so, I mean, if I were to EQ this, I'm going to do it and then I'll tell you why I'm doing what I'm doing. If I were to EQ this, I would do the following. I would look at this and I will try to first meditate. This is just such a bad visualizer. And for some reason, I don't have Pro Q3 in Ableton. Plugins. I don't have Pro Q3. Pro Q3. So I'm gonna have to work with this EQ, unfortunately. Maybe for you it's a good thing because that's an EQ that you have. So if I were to EQ this, I would go kind of like this. I'm looking for the saxophone. I'm gonna look for the kick here and see, remove what I don't need. Something like this, and let's change this so it's not so it's like a kind of like a high pass. And I can just literally do something like this. Look, imagine like, and then start adding until I can hear what's going on. You understand what I mean? Like, I mean, I wanna just cut, and then it's like, what should I cut? And I can just start like this and just start going back until I reach to a point when I start hearing what I'm doing. Anything under this, I will not need it. This is 72 hertz. It's like nothing under this will be needed in an overheads like this. And look, I mean, in here, I'm looking for this. Look. Let me solo it. Solo that frequency. What? Look like. Why is it bothering me? It's hard to tell, man. Like, I mean, it's hard to tell. Like, I mean, it's just, I know that it shouldn't be there. I don't know how to transmit this, like, in another way. It's like, I mix it a million times, and then I imagine that I'm going to end up removing this later. I don't know. It doesn't sound like the drum kits usually sound. Like, you get this, like, cymbals. And let's compare now. I don't know. This is a hard one to assess. I'm going to turn it up a bit in gain because I made it quieter by equalizing. Not so dramatic, right? Let me see it like this. Okay, let's move to another instrument. We will come back to these overheads and think about them more later. I'm just going to see a lot of cases and things that we're going to equalize and think about them. I'm going to go straight to the saxophone because it's very obvious instrument and we can imagine it better. So what are the components of our saxophone? The component of our saxophone here are 3 elements. There is a Royer 1-to-1, a Geffen, and a... Sorry, what's going on there? I think that the guys are not listening Ableton, I guess. Leo, your YouTube music is very quiet. Yeah, I see. I see, guys. Thanks for letting me know. This is a problem here on... The problem, I think on YouTube is going to be fine. Wait, and yet internal speakers. Yeah, and let me open loopback. and just go down here and switch this off. Hey, hey, hey. Now it should be better, guys. It should not be coming from the computer. And Ableton, you should be hearing it. Yeah, with the saxophone, we're going to have a good time. It's going to be a lot of stuff that we need to do there, obviously. So it's all better now. That guys. Yeah. Okay, great. Let's open that saxophone and think about it. I think it would be easier, more obvious to us. So what do we have? We have 3 components there. And I love to record saxophone. So we have a Royer 1-to-1. Let's meditate about it. So we have a Royer 1-to-1. It's a microphone. Yes, it's a microphone. 1-to-1. So let's meditate about it for a moment and think, what do we get from it? Okay? I'm going to describe it in my own words, like how I hear it. A bit honky, resonance around 3000 hertz. Or I'm going to write here more like excess around 3000 hertz. I think it's mellow. This is contradictory. These two ideas are a bit contradictory. That is honky and mellow. But it is mellow. It's just like it's a bit too harsh. But it is mellow. Let's keep listening. Spill level, it's normal. It's not so bad. And let's go to the next one. Let's see the next microphone and meditate about it. Let's hear them back to back. Uh-huh. It's what? More gloomy. Uh-huh. The second one is more gloomy. It's not that bright. This is the microphone Sontronics. This is a Sontronics. So let me see. Sontronics sucks. Sontronics sucks. And then we will EQ them and we will discuss that. Sontronics sucks. Let's see this down here. And then we have the Geffen. Let's hear it again so we can have more. Uh-huh. Wow. The Geffen sound great. So okay, please comment on me on this microphone. Look, check it out. Sontronics. And now I'm gonna show you the Geffen. What do you feel about it? What do you feel about the Sontronics? It's what?
It was Soundtronics.
Soundtronics, yes. Now we hear Soundtronics. It was what? Flat. Uh-huh. Sorry, Pasha, I didn't hear you. Flat. So, flat. It sounds a bit flat. Let's hear something else about it. I think it sounds... I'm going to use a onomatopoeia, but it sounds nosy. Like it sounds like nasal. You say it in English, like nosy. And let's see the Geffen 1 second. Now, notice the difference between the amount of spill in between the Geffen and the Sontronics. And then this one. Uh-huh. Spill, it's amount of other instruments in it. Notice the difference between the spill in the this is really important. Look at the Royer. Listen to the bass. And then I'm going to show you Geffen. Look, Royer. There is a lot more spill in the Geffen. Spill is like lit. It's the same. Yes. Go back here. And then go back here. And then the Sontronics. And you see the Sontronics is a lot more nasal. Now, if you think about it, let's think about, I remind you guys, this is an improvised lesson. I'm sorry. I hate this, but this is how it goes when it's improvised. So, okay, thank you. But I get nervous. Like, I get nervous.
your thing, brother. We're with you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Okay, let's just drink. Let's just go for some shots. Okay, check it out. Check it out. So, check it out. Check this out. Like, what? Think about for a moment. The saxophone tones. It's a really, 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 really deep conversation, and it's a long conversation. But think about what makes a saxophone tone. Think about it. Try to tell me, like, what makes a saxophone tone? Try to imagine that you're doing a Fourier transformation in your head and decomposing it into pieces. So, okay, it has a wooden component. What else do I have there? I have a nose component. Like, I mean, like this kind of like when you do like this, right? There is a nose component. There is a, I would say there is a bit of like a, let's call it the belly of the instrument. There is a belly of the instrument. That's not useful adjective. Wooden component, nose component, and I would say body component. So when you put microphones like this, you are kind of trying to capture these three components separately. So you see, like with the Royer, I'm catching one thing. With the Sontronics, I'm definitely catching the nose component. And with the Geffen, I'm catching more a bit of the body of it. And the other thing that I would add here is the edge component. This is a very strange idea that I had in my head. But the edge is kind of like where the instrument becomes readable. Like when I think about instruments, I think like that. And one of the things that you need to do, and this is really important, before you even EQ or anything in your life, is just to kind of grab these three components and decide what's going to be your balance. So let's go and listen to a couple of saxophone tones here. I'm going to go here to YouTube, and I'm going to open this. Look, let's hear this one. I'm going to open Jaga Jazzist, the Tower, because there is a great saxophone solo right at the beginning of the whole album, so it's easy. Wait. Okay, so Привет. Hello, guys. Yeah, do you know this song? You don't know this song? Oh, that's so great. I mean, that song is incredible. Yeah. Hello, bratan. Nice to see you. Nice to see you, bro. Good to see you, bro. All right, so that's pretty cool. So we heard this saxophone tone here, and let's quickly jump to our saxophone tone here and think about it for a second. Wait, what am I hearing? Yeah, I'm hearing this whole group. So what I want us is to make a choice between those mics and see how we're gonna mix them together, how we're gonna blend them together. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. And let's listen to Jaga Jazzist again. And let's listen to this. Here we are. What is there something that you feel you can already change? Or not yet? It's not so clear. You need to hear? It's not so clear? You need to hear it again? Or it's not so clear what you should do? Let's check it out. So. And let's go back here. I think it has too much nose. You see? Like. We can also get rid of this. And I mean, because I know the mics, it's a bit easier for me to imagine this. Like the Royer is always going to give me something more smooth than the Geffen, and the Sonotronics is going to give me something more harsh. So I need to do a blend, which is kind of like this. And then I need to EQ this. What I mean is that I'm going to favor my mic that is more smooth because that's what I'm going for. And then I make all of these things louder. And I just changed the character. I didn't even EQ. I just changed the character by choosing the components. Can you hear something that bothers you so far in this saxophone? Mhm. Something bothers you of it? Aha. So Sultan says it should be more brighter. So let me see what guys are saying there online. Wait, Grisha, tell us. Da, Grisha. Bro, I hear you. What's going on? What do you mean? Ah, I get it. Oh, you're so funny. You're right, bro. Holy shit. Fuck. Okay, I'm gonna use the utility. God damn it. You caught me. Okay, fine. So I'm gonna use the utility just to be consistent. God damn it. Utility. Okay. Utility. So it's gonna be in blah blah audio effects utility. There we go. Thanks, man. You're right. You are right. So 2, 3. Okay, great. So let's use the utility and then reduce this kind of like we were like Royer and then the sax, the Sontronics, and the Geffen was a bit quieter. Okay, Sultan was saying that it needs to be brighter, and I agree. So how would you make it brighter? What would you think about? What would you do to make it brighter? Which microphone are we using? We have a saxophone Geffen, Sontronics, and Royer. Huh? No, it's on DTH. This was our merely album that we recorded. Yeah, but he doesn't want to release it for some reason. Yeah, it's him. Yeah. Okay, so we want to make it more bright. What else do we want to do? Okay, but I don't have it recorded. Like, I mean, I get it, but we need to fix it now. Like, I mean, it's already recorded. How do we change this? Like, that's a question. How do we manipulate this signal? Pasha, you want to say something? Ah, no, we don't. Yeah, we want to fix it. Exactly. Okay. We have an option here, which is saturation and EQ. What Pasha says. Multiband compression. Okay, that's another option that we get. Anybody else wants to? Sebastian, you want to recommend me something? Nah, go ahead. So this is great. I have 3 options, and let's follow the 3 of them. So option 1 is saturation and EQ. Option 2 is multiband compressor. Yes, that's what we're gonna do. And what's the next one you said? Just equalization. Great. Okay, let's do this. Great. So we have saturation. Let's go. I'm gonna add like overdrive, right? And let's add. Okay, let's just search saturator. Like it's just a type of overdrive. So yeah, it's okay. So we have a saturator, and let's just change the dry wet configuration, and then you will see. I'm gonna build a point with this. So what frequency is my saturator going to be focused on? I guess like around, I'm going to focus it around kind of 2K. And what's the drive level? Just let's increase a little bit. And the color. So, okay, we added saturation, and Sultan said also saturator and EQ, right? Equalizer. So mid-range. So Sultan is searching for some mid-range here. High mids. Tell me a frequency if you can. Around 1,000. Let's see what happens if I boost 1,000. Huh? Tell me another frequency. Look, let's look at this for a moment. Let's look at this for a moment. Like frequency. I get it. 1 second. 1 second. Let's see. Let's look at this 1 second. Frequency charts, instruments, audio, and let's meditate about this a bit more, like informed, you know. So okay, this is my favorite one. Let's let's have a look. Let's see saxophone. Where does it sit? You know, tenor sax. We're in an alto sax, right? And so kind of like after 6K, it's sort of useless, and usually the fundamentals are around 200 hertz. So let's go for 500. The jagged assist saxophone that we heard is more prominent on the 500 hertz, kind of 400 here. So this was one path, equalization and saturation. Let's switch it on and off. Nice. Nice result. Now, let's do another path, which was a multiband multiband compressor. So Pasha wants to use a multiband compressor and equalization too, right? What, I invite you. Don't you want to come here and EQ it yourself? It would be cool. No, it's okay. It's okay. We can do it like that. Okay. I can do it myself, or you can do it. What would you like? It would be cool. It would be really cool to see what is in your mind. Давай. Let's give it a shot. Takes off his jacket like, come on, let's bring this boy, bad boy. And there's nothing right or wrong about it. I just want to see like what comes in out of it.
Почему он не работает?
You need to grab the... Ага, yeah.
Не слышу.
Is that the threshold, right? Now switch it off. Switch it off. 1 second.
Я тоже.
Okay. Let's bypass it for a second. Can you bypass it? And switch off the other plugins. Let's hear it alone. Okay. Give me back the control. 1 second. Thanks. Thanks. So, okay, look. I mean, I just want to say this. If you can refocus on me again, like, I just want to say this. Like, I don't like to use a multiband compressor at this stage. Like, I think that just EQ it's enough. Like, personally, I just like don't like to manipulate so many things like jazz when I'm mixing jazz. So I wouldn't have gone for the multiband equalizer, but compressor. But I wanted to see. So okay, for now I'm gonna get out of the multiband compressor and I'm gonna focus more on an equalizer because that's really what I wanted to do. I just wanted to see where Pasha take us, like just for curiosity. But I wouldn't go for a multiband compressor at this stage with a saxophone because I'm mixing jazz and I want things to be really not like dynamically natural. I want it to be dynamically natural. I don't want it to be kind of like manipulated by me all the time and stuff. So a multiband compressor, for my opinion, would be a bit harsh. Now, what would be my path? I mean, you guys gave me your path, and it was like a saturator and a multiband compressor and all of this. What would be my path to this? And I'm really honest with you. My whole path will be this. I'll load an EQ8. I'm going to do my own here, like, and I just will cut the things that I don't need. That's how I would start. So go here and I'm gonna make a cut. Yeah. And the second thing I would do, well, remember, I already did something. No, I don't want to change this. I already did something, and that something was to determine the level between each microphone. That was a very big deal. Like, I mean, I went there and I used the faders, and Grisha caught me using the faders, and but right now I just did it. So that was a very important thing that I did. Now, a second thing that I would do would be to remove all the stuff that I don't need. And a third thing that I would do, because I trust my recording, would be just to load an Pultec EQP1, really. And that's all. That's all I want to do there. Pultec EQP1. And let's discuss this EQ. So, you see this guy. What should I do next? Remember that cutting high frequencies and boosting low frequencies is analogous to each other. So I can also work by boosting or cutting. Like, I mean, I'm not saying that you said something wrong. I'm just saying, like, we can cut high frequencies or boost low frequencies. So look, if I cut 5K, this is what this EQ is doing. Attenuation, selection of frequency, 5K. If I cut 5K, I get it a bit darker. And that's cool. And now I'm gonna grab 100 Hertz and I'm gonna open the bandwidth so it's more encompassing. And let me bypass what I did. And I think I can also do some more air. Let me try that. 16 kilohertz. Look at this. This is the air band. Don't you think it's better? Is it better? You cannot understand like better or worse there. I see. Because it's very subjective, right? Let's try it once more. There it is. It was pretty obvious. Look. So anyways, I mean, the first thing that we can discuss today that I think is useful for all of us to discuss, we're thinking about development of our technical ears, and we're thinking about us listening to something and reacting to it. So I think that you should think very much in the context of the genre that you are. Like, you are in jazz, and this goes to this situation of Pasha proposing us to use a multiband compressor. Like, I don't want, I mean, I don't like when I like kind of say to somebody, I don't like this decision, but I don't like this decision because it's a very aggressive decision for a jazz recording. Like, a jazz recording has to be very natural, and you need to touch it very little. Like, just almost not do anything. The less you do to it is better. And so, I mean, in my approach, I didn't use a saturator. I didn't want to use a saturator. I didn't want to use a multiband compressor. All I wanted to use was an equalizer. And what did I did with this equalizer? What was my logics behind it? It already sounds nice, but I can make it even a bit better. So I just remove the things that I don't need, and then I think about each band. So I have like, and that's a cool thing about these equalizers, that you're limited. It's like you only have like a couple of functions here, and that's all you can do. So I can work all the way until 100 Hertz. And can I boost the low end of it? Yeah, a little bit. And I open the bandwidth so I treat other frequencies too. What can I do with this part of the equalizer? I can go and boost the air band, for example, and then cut a little bit 5K. That's a lot of things that I did, really, to be honest. I wanted it to be closer to the Jaga Jazzist thing that we were listening to. And if we think about it, let's hear it once more. It has much more air. It has a lot of air. You hear this? So okay, this is becoming a better exercise. Let's start trying to get as close as we can to that sound. We need more air right away. You agree? Okay. So let me move this. This thing is right now boosting 16 kilohertz. Let's try with 12. It's you Pasha says no. But I'm okay with it. I'm really happy with this. Let's switch it off. Look. So look, because we kind of made a bet at the beginning. I'm kind of joking. We kind of made a bet at the beginning that if the lecture sucks, I'll give you another one later. So I have just understood how to make this lecture super useful to you in one moment. Guys, everybody overdoes everything at the stage where you are. And it took me 10 years to be in the moment where I am right now, when I'm just open a mix and I'm like, I just need one EQ and that's all I need. And in the past I was like, I need one EQ, and I need this, I need to make it, and I need to cut this, I need to separate this. And it's like, man, the simplest mixes, the simplest processes will always be the best. So I want to invite you to start working not so chirurgically, like I'm going to cut this and remove this, but more like broadly, you know, overall. What do I mean by this? I'm gonna now, let's say, Leo, I don't have this universal audio plugin of like Pultec EQP1. What can I do? Okay, I'm gonna show you something. So I'm gonna load an equivalent of this equalizer here, and my message to you is seek for simplicity. So I'm gonna load the EQ3, like this little guy here that we have in audio effects. Like I'm gonna load the EQ3 here, and you see I have a low, a mid, and a high frequency, and all I can do is to change the frequency of the low and the frequency of the high, and the frequency of the mid stays fixed. Let's see how far away we can get with this guy. Again, we said we want to get closer to Jaga Jazzist. So I added some gain of the high frequencies. Is it engaged? I don't feel it like as if it's engaged, is it? It's just like the Pultec, it's so much better. God damn it. Well, look, that's really useful. Let's see what we're doing there. That's our high range, that's our mid range, that's our low range. We have a lot, which is just bass there. There's no saxophone, because the saxophone starts here at 300. Look, like, that's so cool that we can hear this. Below 200, there's nothing useful there. And by the way, I just found out a really useful tool that you have here to understand how to EQ something. It's like load an EQ3, get all the bands out, and start realizing where your instrument really starts and where your instrument really ends. So basically, look, under 125, there's nothing there that is useful to me. So now we can do this, right? We can grab this guy under 125 and get rid of it. Get rid of everything that happens under 125. That's gonna give us some more isolation. Okay, let's see the mid range.
Leo, with your feedback.
Все. Спасибо. Это было очень круто. Теперь было Timofey feedback. Так, okay, let's hear the mid range. Let's hear the mid range. So look at this equalizer. The mid range of this saxophone starts kind of around what? Wait. Yeah, around 200. It's the fundamental of the saxophone. Around 200, and it ends kind of like around what is this frequency? 4,000. No, it's a bit more even, 5K. So let me just try something here. I'm not doing any equalization move here. I'm just trying to separate these frequencies and understand where they end. So my band of the mid-range of this saxophone is kind of in between 200 hertz and 5,000 hertz. Okay. And so, okay, what else can I do? I mean, it's just like this EQ is, well, no, that's really nice. Boosting 5 kilohertz. Nice. Wow, like look at what I did just with the EQ3. Basically, we're all just boosting 6K. We're just boosting 6K. Okay, now let's do an experiment. Grisha, are you there? Grisha, are you there? No? I lost Grisha? Grish, yeah? I think I lost. Yeah, we will talk about this in a second. Okay, I think I lost Grisha here. Let me see who else would I have here. Alexandra, are you there? No? I think I killed everybody with feedback. Guys, are you alive? Da. Look back, Shalit. Okay, ладно, let's do it. Let's do it. Я жив. Кто здесь? Ага, okay, you're alive. Ага, я тут.
I am here.
Okay.
But I'm just watching from YouTube.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Go back to YouTube. Yeah, go back to YouTube. And right here, please. Okay, right here. Let's have a listen to the bass. I just want to involve Grisha here. Let's listen to the bass one moment and jump to the bass. So the message number 1 of this day is record your bass DIs and don't fuck it up like me. That's one of the messages of today because the DI is open. And the second message is, dude, anytime you think about a process, choose the simplest one. Like start with choosing the simplest one and then do something. Like, okay, now let's load here. Let's see our bass. One moment. I'm gonna switch off the sax. And now I have only bass. Tuk tuk tuk. Okay, here we go. Wow, this is gonna be more interesting. Wow, that's really interesting. So you see, that's pretty hard to mix. You see how much saxophone is in there?
Yeah.
So this is gonna be a lot of thinking. Let's start with our EQ3. So this is 250 hertz, quite prominent. And that's already a resonance that we're gonna have to work around. So I can cut 250. And I can cut quite a bit of 250. We'll see what happens later. Now let me go to this one. That's the mid-range. Wow, it's just saxophone, basically. So let's fix that. Let's open a gate. So let's open a gate and fix that. So what do we want? We want the saxophone to not be favored over the bass. So a gate is gonna need a threshold. This is not the threshold. Here is the threshold. Yeah, but it's gonna be really hard to isolate this thing. Yeah, it's gonna be almost impossible to isolate it with this gate. And that's a case where we may have to use a multiband compressor because we really have a difficult situation here. But let's try to do this with an EQ. Let me load an EQ8. And let me just load this here. And decide what can I get rid of my bass. Oh wow, it's a really hard one. It's a really hard one. And now comes an important part of our conversation. I am listening to the bass in isolation, but I have a lot of other microphones that are happening at the same time, like the room mics. And I'm gonna just load my room mics right now and see how they sound together with the bass. Yeah, let me just do that. Here are my room mics, room left, room right. Let's just put them together. Why am I doing this? Because I want to see what can I remove from here and how can I get it back from another mic. Where is my bass? And rooms. You see what I mean? Like, I am isolating the bass component, and I know that I will return it with the rooms later. But most likely, guys, in the end, because we're mixing jazz, the decision that you're gonna have to make about this is that you will not do this, and you will let the saxophone be there, and that's it, and you will live with it. Yeah, because it's just too harsh. It's a bad position of microphones in the room. Like, it's about the bad decision of which microphone we were gonna use on the bass. Wow, but look at how much of the saxophone we got out of that. Let me remove the what's the name? The drum. Yes. Yeah, there are. Because I know kind of where the fundamental part of the bass is. Like this, I took it away. Yeah. In parallel, as we do this, I'm gonna download another set of tracks because this is turning out a bit harder than what I thought it was gonna be. Let me download. Let me try this. Yeah. Let me just try this. And so I don't know, I mean, what can I synthesize this that is useful to you? Try to be simplistic and also try to identify where the fundamentals of each instrument lies and try to use this type of tools just to understand, like, I mean, oh, where does this starts, where does this ends? Like, because I mean, in this case, we had a situation in which there was too much spill of the saxophone in here, and I realized that a gate will not help me. Really, there is like a multi-band gate, but I personally, I run away from everything. It's not just my opinion. It doesn't mean that it's good or bad. I run away from anything multi-band, like, especially when I'm doing jazz. Like, I just want to be as simplistic as I can, and I don't want to be like kind of like manipulating individually the dynamics of the whole spectrum. Like, and so I went for an EQ there, and I just kind of like identified where the fundamental of the saxophone falls and got rid of everything else. And I hope that when I put the what's the name, the room mics, I'm gonna get some more stuff there. It's gonna be better. Let's see if I'm gonna open some drum tracks here and see if we can get a more didactic example, because this was a bit abstract and a bit hard. Let me just keep this here and group all of these, and yeah, and let's just load the drum tracks, and that's all. So let's see what we got here, and let's see what we can think about this. So yeah, this is a really short song, and you will get to mix this eventually. You're gonna get to mix this eventually, and let's just make this drum sound nice and think about it with just equalizers. So I have a kick. For me, I cannot work if things are not organized, so I need to organize this for a second. Kick out. Then I have a kick far. Then, and for those of you who are recording drums with me in the studio right now, I mean that we are doing this like audio engineering practice, like this is how it all should sound when everything is done. Snare top, snare bottom, overhead mono rooms, overhead left, overhead rights, room left, room right. Let's drop this here, mono room, tom 1, 2, snare 2. This is the second snare. Okay, there we go. So let's make a group of kick. Let's make a group of kick. Let's make a group of snare. This is snare. This is kick far. Should be inside here. Let's make a group of snare. There are 3 mics of snare here. Let's make a group of, leave the snare 2 alone. Let's make a group of toms. Make a group of overheads. Make a group of rooms. And leave the mono room alone and grab it all in one full drums group. Okay, great. So this is how the recording was. There's no processing. I mean, I process a lot on the way in. Do you hear something that bothers you already? Not yet? Not clear? Let's analyze these components that we have here. I'm going to mute everything and start opening it little by little and think about it. There is some very obvious things that I can already hear. Let's have a go back here and see. Oh, sorry. Here's my kick. Do you hear something that bothers you? I hear something very clearly that bothers me there. You hear the snare? You hear the snare? This is easier to isolate. I should have started with this. God damn it, Armir. Like, you made our lives harder. It's obviously his fault. So, gate. Okay, so one of the commentaries that somebody says is like, I hear too much of the snare. So we will use a gate for that. What else do you hear? And why is nobody talking to me about this? Is that really something that you want every single kick hit that you make to have? No. Too much tail. And then we hear some too much tail here. That's another good point. So EQ8. I'm going to load the EQ8 and let's find that frequency. Look. There it is. 100 Hertz. Change the Q a bit. And let's hear it just in isolation. Okay, there we go. Let's get rid of that. And let's see how it sounds if I bring it back. Look. And let's open the Q a bit. Well, that's a lot better. Now look. Interesting that none of you focus on that sound. I think it's because because you couldn't imagine how it will be mixed, like when you started augmenting everything and making it grow. So again, it's really hard. I wish I could give you a recipe on how to understand those problems. I just don't know. What can I say?
There's not like a recipe. It's like your experience in practice, because when you hear like 3 microphones, your attention is spread.
Yes.
And you can't say what first thing you're supposed to keep attention on.
So we started there, and now there is a high probability that this thing is a problem that the whole drum kit was experiencing in all the mics. So let's try this. I'm going to copy this microphone, and Grisha, if you're still there, because you and I have been working a lot together over time on mixing. I think that where we are right now, it's a lot more useful than where we were at Armir. That's why I downloaded a new track, because this is more applicable. Let's think about what just happened. I heard everything. I couldn't understand what it was wrong. Then I opened one mic, and it became apparent that one frequency is too resonant. And now I go to the next microphone. And one of the things you can do is just open the next microphone without doing anything. Or Or I recommend you to do this. Just copy the EQ you did for the previous mic, because you are in the same room. It's the same drum kit. Most likely it's a problem of the kick as it is. And then let's hear that. And let's solo this frequency. There it is again. Like it's the same frequency. It's just like in another mic. Because the problem was the tuning of the kick. Now if I switch this off, now you all hear that. Ooh, 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 ooh. And it's more clean. Look. Let's go to the next one. Now in here, that same resonance is there, but it's a little bit lower. Do you hear it? It's like, wait, I can sing it one octave higher. Here it is. Let's hear it. Now I'm the third kick here. Where are you? Yeah, here. There it is. That's the one. Now that kick has another set of problems. Let's just go back to this one, because one of the things we will go back to all of them. We will see them like again. One of the things that Sebastian told us was like, hey man, there is too much snare there. So let's try to use a gate for that. Now in this case, I think we're gonna be able to. You see, like, goodbye snare. I need to change the release of this so it's more natural. Great. We just isolated the kick very much. If anybody has a question on how to use this gate, just tell me and I will expand it. I'm not doing that now because we discussed this in the past, but wait, I'm gonna just do this. Okay, so I just isolated the kick. And now I'm going to boost a little bit the low end of this kick. Remember, where I'm only listening to one mic. So I'm going to switch this off. Let's see. Oh, can you hear that? How it was before? It's like a gorilla or something. And now, look. And okay, and I think there is too much beater, like too much. Here we go. Okay, let's go to the next one. Wow, it sounds really great. There is something here that bothers me. This is really coming. I don't hear it, but I know it's there. It's this thing. You especially hear it on the snare. I can copy the same gate there. And that's okay. I know that you hear this like how the things end up so Joska, but that's okay. When you put all the microphones, it's gonna be okay. I can make the release a bit longer. And here I can change this a little bit. Wait. Okay, so I have two mics now. And a third one. Okay, great. And I also look, I also hear this. Check it out on the third mic. It became very obvious now. Like, it became really obvious that I don't like this. When I open the third mic, this is the third mic. Look. Wow. Look at how much we filter that. Look. One of them sounds like a, I don't know, like a shoe. Blah blah blah, like some. And the other one sounds like a kick. I need to return a little bit of the information that I took away. so it's more natural. So check that out. That's a really major change. And here's like, imagine multiband compressor and some like saturation. Like no, just use an EQ. Like look at how far I got. Like just by doing 2 EQ moves. And so let's put them together. Something became, somebody sitting, wait. Aha, do you hear this? It's a resonance in the room. And it became apparent when I switch off this mic. You hear it? Something is resonating, but I don't think it's like the actual source. It's something in the room. I think it's because I went too far with this kick boost, this low end boost. Ah, there it is. It's not resonating anymore. Something in the room is resonating. Like there it is. It's one of the resonators above. Okay, cool. So now let me switch off all these plugins and see what happens if I would have not made this equalization. I have a lot of snare. Okay, so that's a bit of kick equalization. Let's see this. Wow, it sounds so great, man. This recording was so cool. The setup was like 10 hours. The setup, really. Like we took 10 hours to set up. Like we just like tested everything, tuned everything. That's why it sounds so great. Because it was done calmly. Okay, look. That's the snare. What bothers you there? Too much kick? Huh? Okay. There is a do you hear it? And now look. Usually once you find one problem somewhere, this problem is gonna be everywhere. Like, especially when you're recording something in a room. So let's start again with the same equalizer we do for the kick. Let's drop it on the snare. We're obviously not going to use it all. Let's switch off most of the bands and see what's happening in this resonance. This is in the snare. But what we're looking for is more here. Look, guys. And now, what's the difference between those frequencies? Like I was in 100 hertz, and that was 186. No, it's simply another frequency. Like, you know, that's the kick resonating through the snare, literally. Now we all hear it. And now we have to be very careful there because we have the fundamental of the snare right next to it. But look at this, man. Look at this. Look at this. It's like if you remove it, look at that. And I can boost a little bit of low end to it. And look, I switch off this EQ and I did magic with just two moves. Can turn it up a little bit. Agreed? Okay, so I found that problem, and now let's move to another mic. I can copy this guy here and just put it here. And let's see, this is another microphone. In this case, I had 2 microphones pointing at the snare, like a KM184 and an SM57. Now I'm gonna switch this off. There it is again. Now I hear another thing that I want to fix. Wait, sorry. I don't want this to be I want this to be like this. Something like this. back. I really cannot explain you why I made this move. Like, I just know that I don't like it. That's all. I don't like that frequency. Like, I have the resolution in my head to know that I don't like that frequency. Like, babushka move, yeah. I just know that I don't like that frequency. Like, and then if I switch it off, look like. If I put them together, and then I have the snare bottom. Let's hear the snare bottom alone. The snare bottom needs gating, right? Gate, I mean just a little bit of a gate because I have a lot of kicks there. So increase the release. Up, great. And I can kind of like apply the same gate everywhere. To the snare top and to the other snare top. And then I'm gonna have some really nice stuff here. So let me just go here. Nice. Look how much I isolated that snare. Awesome. Goodbye kick, man. Yeah, and then let's see, like, wow, man, that's super effective. Super effective stuff. So if I'm gonna link these tracks like Sebastian showed me the other day. Here, Bratan, right? Link tracks. I'm gonna link these tracks so I can switch all these plugins in one click. Let's have a look and see all the things that we just did. Oh, it didn't work. Wait. No, why didn't it work, Sebastian? Do you know? But didn't we do it in the DTH the other day? No? But I want them all to go off in one click. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I just wanted to switch them off and hear them all off. Okay. So, all right. I mean, there we go. So, okay, here's the thing. I think we're gonna stop here. I hated this lecture personally. Yeah, did you like it? Yeah. What's useful? Okay, because you know I'm. Yeah.
Because I don't know even what types of problems.
Okay.
And when you say, do you hear the sound? It's obvious that the sound is here.
When you say like the who, okay, yeah.
Then it became apparent, and maybe
Yes.
the next time you hear a kick, it would be possible for you to hear it.
Like,
Okay.
You have this problem, so gotta pay attention.
Okay.
So it is useful to see just how
And when you show how it sounds without it, you start to get it. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Anyways, I just don't like when I'm so unprepared. But if it's useful to you, that's great. I'm gonna finish this because you gave me this commentary and you expressed like that you really found it useful. I'm gonna finish this and then we will see what happens. Okay. I just did kick and snare. I have toms. These toms are already cleaned. You see, there is only like the tom hits. Let's have a listen to them and see what problems can be there. Let me see this. Well, yeah, obviously there is a very clear problem there, and I'll show it to you. It's not only the tail, but there is a frequency there. Like what happens is that you really in the previous group, I'm gonna show you something. 1 second. I'm gonna jump to another session and then come back to this one. We're gonna take a couple of minutes after, okay? Just a moment, and I'll let you go because I kind of like found a better rhythm right now. Look, I'm gonna open a sawtooth. I'm gonna open like we were generating waves with the previous group. Like we were just like generating like a sawtooth from the individual components. Like it's like, okay, you see, like I have a sine tone of 440, a sine tone of 880, and a sine tone of 1320. If I isolate them, let me see, hear this. Like if I hear one of them alone, it's a sine tone. Sorry, that's very loud. Let me just make
Лево, очень громко для нас.
Хорошо, братан. Да, все,
В онлайне очень громко сайтом.
Мы тебя слышим. Я тебя слушаю, братан. Окей. Давай. Сейчас. Ага. Okay. So quickly check it out what I want to show you. Like if your goal is to make a sawtooth wave, you're going to have to do this. I just want to show you one little, and then we'll come back to our example and you will see what I mean. Since part 3, wait, this is what I was doing today with the guys. If you open a sawtooth wave, if you want to create a sawtooth wave, you're going to have a formula here, and the formula is that, let's create a sawtooth wave. It's that you're going to have, let's say, 440, and then you're going to have all the octave harmonics upwards from it, like 440, 880, but the important thing that I want to discuss right now is the amplitude. Like, if the amplitude is different, you will not get a sawtooth wave as a result. So my point that I'm building here is that your final wave, the characteristics of your final wave is going to depend on 2 factors: the frequencies that you're summing together and what's the amplitude of those frequencies. When you want to have a sound of a tom, for example, you don't want all the frequencies to be at the same level because you will have white noise. So that means that there are some frequencies that you want to sort of like balance out so you produce the result that you want. If I grab here, if my goal is to create a good tom sound, I need to know which are the frequencies that I need to remove so the good tom sound exists. If my goal is to make a sawtooth wave, just by having, like you see, like I just made a sawtooth wave. Look, like it was a sine, and now it's a sawtooth. But if I turn this up in volume, it stops being a sawtooth. It's not just about the frequencies. It's also about the amount of them that there are. So, like when I hear something like a tom there, and I have trained myself to know, like, that thing shouldn't be there. And that came from experience. And I just showed you that the amplitude and the frequency are important. So what's wrong here? There is, well, first, that same resonance on the kick is there too. Look, I heard it, like, and let me hear the next one. Wait, I just want to hear this. Let's hear it again. Let me make a little loop check here. Маленький loop check. Вот так. И сделаем так. И сделаем command L. И... Now, the problem that I have here is, like, if I start working on this particular frequency, I am going to then fuck a little bit the fundamental of this. So let me give it a shot, but oh, that it worked. Look, if I switch this off, look at this. Look. You hear this ooh, ooh. Again, it's there. It was always there. Can it be a bit higher? And then and the secret is, like, if you find a way, notice that I make a cut and I don't damage the character of the floor tom. Look, like, wait. So okay, that's cool. The other thing that I know I can do to that floor tom, it's kind of here. And then I'm going to lose a bit of the attack. And now let's switch that off. I think I went a bit overboard here. and I remove the bullshit from it. Let's see the tom. I'm gonna finish these drums and then we'll stop. Let's see the other tom. Here it is. There is a lot of stuff we can do. What do you hear? Let's try. For example, check this out. Look. There is something like that. Let me turn it up a bit. It's something outside of the range of that I can even sing. It's like kind of like 7K or something. There it is. So, of course, if I overdo it, it's gonna be bad. I have to be careful, but what? Hop. Okay, and the other thing I feel here, it's something like and let's close this a little bit and see what's up. Now we have also the floor tom. Nice. Now you hear it very clearly. This is okay, cool. Okay, cool. So what do I have? Nice. Super vodka. We can turn it down a little bit. Huh? No, I use faders again. God damn it. I'm on fire today. Okay, so let's see the overheads. These are my overheads. Let's have a listen. It's kind of already well recorded. I mean, because I EQ'd it before the recording. The only problem I hear here is that the hi-hat, when it's open, it's too aggressive. In respect to the balance of everything, because I mean I really EQ'd this really well. I had a hammer EQ, which is quite powerful. Just I feel that when the hi-hat is open, you see, like it just goes out of the balance of the whole thing, and that's really bad. That second snare, I think that second snare, we are listening to it. Wait, the second snare is here. Let me remove it. Wow, is that all in the overheads? Wait. Yeah. So we have a problem with that the snare is a bit out of like the picture and the hi-hat. And for this, guys, I learned only last week how to fix this problem properly. And actually the way to do it is with a process called expander. It's the exact opposite of a gate. I wonder if I can have an expander here. Yeah, no, I'll leave this for another time. I'm not gonna get out of equalization right now. I don't want to change anything, and that's an important thing to say. It's like I don't want to change anything. Like, why do we need to change everything? Like, that's okay. Let's hear the rooms. See what's in here. Left. Aha. What's up? You can make an expander from the multivac compressor. You're right. I just don't want to touch it right now, but you're right. You're right. It's really cool. I just want to focus more on EQ today. So in here I feel that firstly, I mean, I'm gonna remove a bit of the low end. And I also feel that the Tarielki are overrepresented in respect to the rest of this, I mean of the snare, so of the kit. So I'm just gonna cut the high end a bit. And now I hear a little bit of like can turn this a bit more down, and then to be honest, guys, like this is a particular case that I would attack it. I will not work it out with this. I will go back to my super amazing beloved Pultec plugins. So let me load my Pultec, and I will try with the Pultec to do this. So I want less high end, so I cut attenuation of 10 kilohertz. Look, I want less high end. I want a bit more low end. And I think that the whole thing lacks mid-range. Let me see what I did. Nah, it's worst. It's worst. It's not good. It's also maybe a bit better this one. But it was good. It was just good how it was. Like, there's nothing we need to do here. And now let's see these rooms. I have here a mono room. Wow, there is a lot we can do there. I overcompressed this guy on purpose. It was like that. And it sounds cool, but there is one obvious problem, and it's our same ooh, 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 ooh that we have been fighting all day. Like, is this guy on the kick? This dude. I'm gonna drop it there right now. Hey, where are you? I'm gonna just copy the same EQ just to start into that mono room. Remember how it was? Let me switch it off. Look. Actually, yeah, this is the one. And this mic is supposed to be like an effect. Yeah. And now the rest is just a question of balancing things out. I will use the faders just because my toms are off. I don't know. Everything's cool. Now, when I put it all in together, I hear one problem, and I'll show it to you on the master. So then we go and fix it. And that's another way you can start locating problems. Look, when he starts playing the right, there is a problem. And the problem is this. And you see, Lian, like, I mean, back to Liana and I started a conversation about her mixing her EP and if Artemi Jedugov can do it or not, and her producer, to bring her producer here. So I talked to her producer to help him. Like, I'm skeptical of these conversations because it's kind of like, I mean, we will have this conversation. I want to have it with him. I'm just trying to tell you, like, my expectation of something like that. It's like, how can I tell to somebody this? Like, learn how to EQ, and it's like, okay, and how do you learn how to EQ? And then I'm showing you a case with some drum kit, but what if you're mixing electronic music? It's going to be different. Like, it's just like kind of playing a Schachmatte game, and like when you're building a sawtooth wave, it's very clear the formula that you have. But what is the formula for a good tom sound? Yeah, exactly. Exactly, and that's a good point. Like, to fix a mix is a very challenging thing that requires a lot of variables. It's really hard to, yeah. So then look, we're gonna stop the lecture in a second, but this is a really good tip. Yeah, this is a really good tip. Like, when you don't know, you want to learn how to identify what's a problem. One of the things you can do is just to play the whole thing and put an EQ in the master and start moving around. Let's see. Let's push it just a little bit, a couple of dBs. No, right now, like, do you really want that? This, yeah. Now, obviously, I cannot cut it in the master here. I'm gonna have to go to the overheads in particular and just look at it. You see, like, because if I cut it in the master, I'm gonna cut it in the snare, I'm gonna cut it in the toms, I'm gonna cut it in the kick, I'm gonna cut it. So I need to go to the overheads. And so a good way to identify problems is like that. Put an EQ in the master and start boosting and moving around and figuring it out. And where are my overheads here? And so this is, remember, well, there it is, etc., etc., and so on. So yeah, I don't know. I'll compensate for this. I'm not so happy with today's results. I don't like these lectures like this that are improvised. I promise you that this course is not gonna become crappy. I love this развитие технического слуха and I always will say it wrong now. развитие, and I really want it to stay cool. So please don't take this lecture as a case to say, ah, fuck, this sucks. Just next week it will be better. I promise you. I understand that some of you had a good time, but I didn't enjoy it. I hate this improvised shit, and I like to have something prepared, but I just didn't have time this week. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, but I know I can do better. I'm very critical to my work, and I know I can do better. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, guys online, thank you so much. I hope that it was not so terrible for you, and let's keep in touch. And next week will be really cool. Thank you, Dasha. I appreciate that. I'll try to be more structured next time. Thank you very much. So, thank you, Murad. Thank you, Timofey. Thank you, Grisha.
Thank you, Leo, as well.
Thanks, Bratan. Grisha, we will see each other now. Will you be at 2, at 3 with us? Grish, check. Ah, you're in YouTube. I see you're in YouTube, Grisha.
So yeah. Once again.
Will you be with us at 3? For
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm really excited about the next lecture, so I hope it goes well. Давай, братан.
Okay.
Обнимаю. Take care. Пока-пока.
Happy birthday, by the way.
Thanks, man. Thanks a lot. Yeah, thank you very much. I'll see you a bit later. Like, I'm gonna go to eat, and I'll see you soon.
Okay,
Обнимаю.
bye.
Пока-пока. Как дела? Да. Спасибо, my friend. Thank you very much.
Мне нужна твоя помощь.
Как я тебе
Что-то
могу
никого
помочь?
нету. Надо зайти там подвинуть.
Наверх?
Можешь мне чуть-чуть помочь?
Хорошо.
Ну, что ты как?
Устал.
Да, это мое.
Устал. Сегодня как будто пиздец. Да, I fucked it up a bit.
Ну, ничего.
Да, I'm not ready for my lectures today. I just didn't have time, and I'm not so ready, so I feel a bit crappy, but it's all cool. It's all okay.
Понятно. Как Линкс?
Links уже
Лучше?
лучше. Да, уже лучше. Да, уже лучше. Да, он уже лучше. Уже лучше сито, и да, он уже на хорошее. Да, и